We're all part of this, and it's up to each and every one of us how we go forward. It is. When you look outside yourself for happiness, hello, Apple Brooks, honey. When you look outside yourself for happiness, um, it's kind of hard to find the same kind of happiness that you would have on the inside. Hello, Ronnie, honey. It is. And it's true. We as humans, we will look outside ourselves and say, well, this is going to make me happy, because you may not be too happy on the inside because something's missing, something's wrong on the inside, and perhaps you're broken, perhaps you have a longing to have a better life, or you just want something different. And instead of looking on the inside and working on the inside, you or we, let's include us, we have a tendency to look outside, say, this is going to make me happy, this is going to fix it, this is going to fix it, and you go toward that, and you find out, well, that didn't last long, because I still feel this this emptiness on the inside. That was one of my thoughts this morning. I mean, I don't have this emptiness. I could have some emptiness on the inside, but not at the extent as some. Some people have a vast emptiness. And no matter what they do, I'm having a hot flash. No matter what they do, no matter what they think, they can't fulfill it. And they don't know what it is. And it's literally coming from the inside of them. The source of the inside of them it's lacking. It's truly lacking. Because the happiness is not there. Instead, there's something else in its place where there should be some happiness. Good morning. Then I started thinking about a game. You know how you can come on here and you can see me. This is like my world. This is Gina's world right here. You can come in here and you get a glimpse of my world. And you could probably you can go to another YouTube channel or something else, and you can see a glimpse of their world. And then you may look at your world, and your world may not look the same as someone else's world. When I say world, I mean life. And you may say, well, I wish I had that. I wish I lived in that world over there, because I don't like the world that I'm living in. I don't like the life that I'm living in. And you try to recreate it. You try to create the life that you see in others in your own world, but you fall short. You fall short because it's not coming from the inside of you. You weren't the source of it. You looked around. I mean, you saw something better. I have no idea where I'm going. You look around, you see something better, and you create that something better, and you say, well, it doesn't really feel like it's better. I had to really work hard, and it's not really what I want. It's like when you may think, well, I found the perfect person. I'm going to marry, I'm going to date. And you marry and you think, wow, I don't think that was the perfect person. Perhaps I should have looked more deeply inside, and perhaps I should have thought about what I truly wanted, instead of just taking the first thing that was given to me. Just like when you go out and buy a car. Oh, it looks really good. I think I want it. And you get that car. And then you realize it costs a lot more money, and insurance, it may not be cost efficient when you drive it. And it may not do you well in the long run. Just a few months or so later, not even that, you may get very tired and think, man, look what I did. Or you rush out and you just buy on impulse. We do things on impulse without truly thinking things over. And because we want it. You think, well, I think I want this. You don't take time to think. You don't. We don't. You go out and you get it, then you regret it. Think, now what am I going to do? I didn't even think first. That's right. You gotta pause at times, and you gotta think. Um, The source of your happiness is on the inside of here. And when you go looking outside yourself for that happiness, to have other things filled. And I used to tell my husband all the time. I said, you got that emptiness on the inside of you. I said, there's nothing I can do to fill that void, that emptiness. What you need is God. What you need is love. I can't give you what you need. And you can have friends too. And no matter how good of a friend you are, no matter how many good times you share, they may still have a void within them, an emptiness within them. And when you're gone, that emptiness is still there. When you're not able to meet up with them and do things, the emptiness is still there because it's originating from the inside of them right there. They've got to figure out, what is it that I'm lacking on the inside? What do I need? What do you need? Do you look to others to fulfill what you need on the inside of you? Do you? Do you have something that no human on the earth can feel? You have a void or something like that? Really think about it. There's some things we can't humanly do for others. I mean, you can give love. You can truly give love. And if it's the right type of love that comes from God, that love can fill the inside of you. It truly can, with no strings attached. It's like, it's a frequency. But if you're not open to the frequency, if you're not open to the gift of the giver, truly open from your heart, you're not going to receive it with the right intentions. It's not going to have that frequency when it goes inside of you. You ever been given, somebody knows you need something or you want something, and you give that something to someone, but your intention was not fully there when you gave it, or perhaps they didn't want what you had to give because they wanted it to be someone else. See, this is right here. You freely gave them, you wanted them to have what it is that they wanted, but because it came from you, yeah, that's what they wanted, but it did not fulfill what they wanted on the inside. Because of who it came from, they rejected it. Even though it was something that they wanted, they totally rejected it. And that rejection came from the inside of them. You have got to be willing to receive what is being given to you when you want something, when you look for something, and you find it, or somebody's willing to give of themselves to you, but yet they're not the person you want. I have no idea where I'm going with this, but they're not the person that you want, but yet they have on the inside of them what you need. And you say, well, that's not what I wanted. See, that's the key. That's not what I wanted. They may have what you need, but they're not what you wanted. Well, what did you want? Did you want the external and everything that goes with it? Because this is the world that we live in. We live in a world where everything's got to be all pretty and beautiful, and it's got to fit our standard that we placed upon what this, we put the own standards on. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. I don't care about the inside. I want the outside. I want the outside. Even though you may, whoever this is for you. I wasn't even going to go this direction. I promise you I wasn't. You may have someone in your life. Okay. They're not your prince in shining armor. They're not your princess, beautiful princess. You may have this dream home. You may see this home. It may be just what you need. The price is right and all that kind of stuff, but it may not be exactly what you dreamed it, but it works for you. It falls within your budget. It's perfect, but it may not be aesthetically pleasing. It may not have all the amenities that you want it to have. Or your job also. You may found a job, but it may not be the prestigious job. You may have to work a little harder, but the hours work for you. It's convenient. It fell right into your lap. And you're sitting there thinking that I wanted the other one. But this one just fell right into your lap, this job. And it fits your hours. It pays enough to get by. And you don't have to work too hard. It's fell into your lap and you don't want it because you were holding out for something else. You think you deserve something much better. But this is really good. You will have enough to get by and you don't want it. Whoever that's for. We've got to get to the point on the inside of our being and quit saying, I want this, I want that, I want. What is it that you need? What is it that you need? Because we're living in the era that we're going to be in need. It's not all about your wants. It truly isn't. I mean, it's nice when your wants and your needs add up. But what is it that you need? That's the era that we're living in. You may say, well, I need a good friend. I need a good friend. I need things to go right for me because everything's going wrong for me. I just need things to go right. Do you need it or do you want things to go right? Sometimes in life, things do not go smoothly. And sometimes you have hurdles that you have to overcome, obstacles that have to get moved out of the way. It's like when you play a board game. You all get to roll the dice. Everything is level the playing field. You all start off at the starting line. And you roll the dice. And you land where you land. And you do whatever you do. And you keep rolling and you keep rolling. It's time and chance. At that instance, it truly is time and chance with games. Especially when you all start at the very beginning of a game. You start at the beginning of the race. And you've got people watching. Nobody cheats in the game. They don't. They don't cheat. You got people all around making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. And everything is left up to time and chance. And if you're lucky, the universe steps in. There is a universe. There is a God. There is another realm. There is a higher power. Well, sing and shout it, walk and talk it. There's a higher power. Lay down the cross because Jesus taught it. There's a higher power. There's a song that popped into my mind. There is a higher power out there that is invisible. You can't see it. You can't. I've been all over the place so far, but not truly. There is something on the inside of us that we all have. It's the happiness. You want the happiness. That's when I was little. I thought all I want is to have a happy life. That I want everybody to be happy. That's what I want. I want to have a happy life. You do. And you may want the same thing. You may have always, I just want to be happy. I just want to have a happy life. Sometimes it takes a lot of things to overcome to reach that point in life till you realize, okay, the true happiness is found within me. And I make the best of what I've got. And if I can do better, I'm going to do better. If I can do this and I do that and reach out and someone reaches back, then I like that. I like that. If you have the ability to do better, do better. If you reach out and someone reaches back to you, that's wonderful. Like if you fall down and you need a helping hand and someone reaches their hand out and helps you up, that's better. Don't just sit there. Listen to me. Don't just sit there when you're down and you're reaching out your hand and someone reaches back, but it's not the hand that you wanted. But the universe is reaching out a hand. Can you pick and choose who the universe, who God sends to you to help you? Can you be the one who decides, God, I don't want that person's help. God, I want this person to help me. I want things to turn out this way. I want this house. I want this car. I want this job. I want to buy this. I don't want that thing right there because that is not as good as I want. I want this one right here. Can you pick and choose and be in absolute control and say that you want all these things? And can you pick and choose who it is who is sent your way in this life to help you? And it always turns out that no, it don't turn out that way. If you're someone who needs help and someone is offering you help, but if they're not the person you want to help them, or the help arrived in the manner that you didn't want it to arrive in, you wanted it to, you had in your mind how you wanted this thing to play out. And when it don't play out the way you want it to, you think, I don't want it. Or I had my plans and they didn't pan out. I didn't want my life to go this way. I did not want this to happen to me. No, it's not what I wanted. See, that's the thing. It's not what I wanted. Sometimes your plans get rearranged, and it's for the better, and you'll see it in the long run. And you'll be thankful. I'm glad that did not happen. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm glad I'm glad that did not happen, because look at the mess I would have found myself in. You ever notice you had plans? You wanted things to do. You wanted to do this and that, and it didn't happen. And you passed up a chance, even though you wanted it, and that chance you pass it up, and somebody else got it, and then you look at them and you say, "Oh wow, that is not turning out for them. Well, for them, that is way too difficult for them. Oh my gosh, look at the mess they've gotten themselves into. I'm glad I didn't take that job. Wow, I'm glad I didn't get that car. That they bought that car that I wanted, and that car they got it, and it broke down on them. Oh wow, they got that house that I wanted, and now they can't even afford it. They can't afford that house. The taxes went up. They lost their job. I'm so glad I did not. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, that I did not do that. But you wanted it. But something inside of you said, nah." But you got upset when you said nah, or something happened and you couldn't get what you wanted. But then you look back and say, I am so thankful. Am I ever so thankful I did not get that car? Am I ever so thankful I didn't make friends with that person? Am I ever so thankful? Because you see what that person was about. Am I ever so thankful I did not marry that person? Am I ever so thankful? Just think if you got everything you wanted. Just think in life. And you did everything you wanted, and you made a total wreck of your life, and now you're sitting back and looking at your life. You thinking, my life's a mess. Because you wanted it. But you would not come to the realization that you've come to now. My life's a mess. Had you not got all those things. It took you getting all those things. It took whatever happened in your life to get you to the point to where you realize it's not what I wanted. Oh my gosh, it's not. Now I am broken. What am I going to do? And the brokenness is coming from the inside of you. Right there. The inside of you. Because now you realize I didn't need all that. I brought undue hardship upon me. I put myself through all of that pain because I thought that's what I wanted. And perhaps at times you're deceived too. There's external forces that are working behind the scenes, spiritual, that you could not see. And they lured you into it, convinced you. It's like watching commercials for things. You want this, you want that. You go out and buy this. It's wouldn't you love to have this food and stuff? And before you know it, if you give in to that, then you've gained so much weight and think, oh my gosh, why did I do it? Not only did you gain the weight, you got yourself in debt. A lot of people go in a lot of debt when you eat out all the time. I want this, I want that, I want this. You realize now, look what happened, because I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that. I can't go out to eat anymore. And I don't want to eat whatever. It's like the prodigal son. The two sons. The king had two sons. And you can take that story, well, it's Enki and Enlil. It's the light and the dark. It's Satan and God. And whatever. The king had two sons. The master had two sons. And the one wanted all his inheritance right away. I want my share of the kingdom right now. Gives it to him. Go on. Half the kingdom. There, this is yours. The earth is yours. And he goes out and he squanders and he does all this kind of wild stuff. And while the other one is home with his father. With his father. And it ends up the one son is, I guess it is the cattle or somebody. The pigs have he's with the pigs now. He's somewhere in the mud, and his life, he messed his life up, and now he regrets it. Totally regrets it. And he said, well, even the animals have a better life than what I've got. They get fed too, and they got shelter. I guess I'll go home. And he goes home, and his father sees him, and he tells his servants, go get a coat, bring it out, put it on my son. Let's get a feast. Let's get the feast going. My son was lost, but now he's found. He's come home. And the other son thought, well, it's not kind of right that he got half the kingdom. He got half his inheritance. And now you're welcoming him back. And here, now he's on the same level playing field as me. But it wasn't up to the son. It was up to the father. The father saw that his son truly was sorry. He truly realized what he wanted is not what he needed. He tried everything out in the world. It's like Solomon. Also, he tried it all. He did. Tried it all. Didn't bring him happiness. His happiness came from within. And just like that prodigal son, by the way, I never did like that story growing up in church. Never did like it. I thought that's not right. Why? Because I was looking at it from human point of view. It wasn't right. He went out and blew the money. Blew it. Unthankful when he got it from his heart. Because all he knew is he wanted it. He got the women. He got everything he wanted, and he went through it. Poof, and he ended up in there. It's like the animals. Came home, and then his dad welcomed him. He was truly sorry. Came home hanging his head down low, ashamed of himself because he wouldn't listen. His dad probably told him, you don't want to do that, but he wouldn't listen. He wouldn't. But then he was welcomed back. It's like he left the 99 to find the one sheep that wandered. That may be you. It truly may. When your wants overtake you, this is going to get you into trouble. We're living in the era where you can't have what you want all the time. You cannot. Everything don't always have to go your way. You may say, well, I'm not used to this type of living. I've always had this and I've always had that. And I can't go forward now. I can't. My life is ruined. Maybe your expectation of life that you wanted is now ruined. It's now in shambles. It's crumbled. Your foundation that you built on has literally crumbled because you have crumbled on the inside. Perhaps that's what it is too. But if you're like that in the inside of you, you're now at that point on the inside of you, you realize you've been there, you've done that. Even people when they get older, they may have had a very beautiful life, everything they ever wanted, and the older they get, they realize that when they reach the end of their road, what's most important, and it's having good friends, a family, it's having the love, the companionship of others, and it's not tainted with all these other expectations because you truly want what the world cannot give you. You truly want what the world cannot give you because what the world can give you is It doesn't feel that on the inside of you. It's not the frequency that you need. You need the other frequency of love, kindness, compassion when it gets down to it. And you realize it. But some people, it takes till they're on their deathbed to realize when they look back. And then they see standing by their side, the people that they pushed away. But now they're the ones by their side. That was their true friends. Those were the ones who truly loved them, even though the person didn't realize it in life. They had everything they needed around them, but they did not realize it. And that literally filled the void because it was the right frequency. It came from love. It had everything. So I am going to go. I am. My video is going to end. I had a message come across my screen. So that's my call to end the video. Don't look outside yourself, thinking you're going to have all this stuff and it's going to make you happy, because the source of your happiness is on the inside. It's God. It's love. You say, well, I don't know how to get to that point. Gracious Heavenly Father, may you help each and every person who has an emptiness on the inside, has a void, has a brokenness. May you help fill that void and that brokenness. May you heal them. May you send people into their life with the right frequency to make a difference in their life. And may you form friendships where there were no friendships. May you put back the connections that used to be, that truly did fill the void, not just on the one end, but on the other end. May you put the connections back, but make them stronger so the enemy can't break them. In the name of precious Jesus, amen. I am going to go, you all. With that being said, hello. Wherever you are in any part of the world, hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I see our moderators were busy on here. We got to have some unity, Yarni. Absolutely. That's what we need. We need to heal. There's been enough external interference in our lives, breaking us apart, tearing us apart. There's been enough external interference, deliberate. Now it's time for us to heal internally, each and every one of us. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Thank you, Applebrooks Honey. Also, hey, Golden Codex. Yeah. Have a wonderful morning. Love you.